the story of the angels who taught magic. The story of Hārūt and Mārūt takes place in a period when the children of Israel had drifted away from true guidance and become deeply involved in superstition, forbidden knowledge, and false accusations against the prophets. During this time, magic, was widely practiced and feared, and many people falsely attributed magical practices to Prophet Sulayman, may peace be on him. The Quran firmly clears Sulayman of this accusation, declaring that he never disbelieved, but rather that the devils were the ones who disbelieved by teaching people magic. This clarification sets the foundation for understanding the role of Hārūt and Mārūt. Allah then mentions that certain people followed what was revealed to the devils and what was sent down to the two angels, Hārūt and Mārūt, in Babylon. Babylon was a major center of learning and civilization at the time, and also a place where magic and occult practices were widespread. Allah sent these two angels not as promoters of magic, but as a test for humanity, just as other trials test sincerity, obedience, and faith. Hārūt and Mārūt were given knowledge related to magic, but they were commanded by Allah to act with absolute clarity and honesty. They never taught anyone without first issuing a direct and explicit warning. Before explaining anything, they would say words to the effect of, "We are only a test, so do not disbelieve." This warning was not symbolic or subtle. It was clear and repeated. It meant that learning or using this knowledge for forbidden purposes could lead to disbelief and spiritual ruin. Those who came to Hārūt and Mārūt did so of their own free will. Some people approached them out of curiosity, others out of arrogance, and many out of a desire for power, control, or revenge. Despite being warned, these individuals chose to proceed, fully aware that what they were learning was dangerous to their faith. This is a critical point in the story. The sin did not lie in the angels or in the existence of the knowledge, but in the people's deliberate choice to misuse it. Among the things people learned were forms of magic that could cause harm, including practices that created discord between a husband and his wife. The Quran highlights this example because it shows how magic attacks the most sacred human bonds. However, Allah immediately emphasizes that no magic can cause harm except by His permission, reinforcing that all power ultimately belongs to Allah and that magic has no independent authority. The Quran further explains that those who pursued this path knew with certainty that they would have no share in the hereafter. This statement removes any claim of ignorance or innocence. These people were not deceived victims. They knowingly exchanged eternal success for temporary worldly gain. They preferred influence, fear, and dominance over humility and obedience to Allah. Classical Islamic scholars explain that the role of Hārūt and Mārūt was similar to other divine trials mentioned in the Quran. Just as wealth, power, or hardship can test faith, forbidden knowledge can also serve as a test. The angels themselves remained completely obedient to Allah. They did not sin, they did not approve of disbelief, and they did not encourage magic. Their role was limited to conveying knowledge with a warning, under divine command, so that people's true intentions would be made clear. It is important to note that many popular stories circulating outside the Quran, such as claims that Hārūt and Mārūt committed sins or fell from grace, are not supported by the Quran and are rejected by many scholars. The Quranic account protects the honor of angels, affirming that they do not rebel against Allah. Islam firmly holds that angels cannot disobey, cannot commit shirk, and cannot mislead humanity intentionally. In conclusion, the story of Hārūt and Mārūt in Babylon is not a story about angels spreading evil, but about human responsibility when faced with temptation and dangerous knowledge. Allah exposed people to a clear test, accompanied by an unmistakable warning. Some chose obedience and restraint, while others chose disobedience and harm. The lesson of the story is timeless. Knowledge without faith leads to destruction, and true protection lies not in secret powers, but in trusting Allah, obeying His commands, and avoiding what He has forbidden. One important lesson from the story of Hārūt and Mārūt is that knowledge itself is a test from Allah. Not every type of knowledge is meant to be pursued or used freely. Even when information exists, Allah judges people by how they respond to it, whether they obey His limits or cross them. The people who approached the angels were clearly warned, yet some chose to proceed. This shows that true success lies not in how much one knows, but in how obedient and disciplined one is with that knowledge. Another lesson is the danger of ignoring clear warnings. Hārūt and Mārūt never taught anyone without first saying, "We are only a test, so do not disbelieve." Those who went ahead did so knowingly. This teaches that when Allah's guidance is made clear, responsibility falls entirely on the individual. Ignoring divine warnings, whether out of desire, pride, or curiosity, leads to spiritual loss, even if the action seems beneficial in the short term. The story also highlights that evil actions have no power except by Allah's permission. Although people learned magic that could cause harm, such as creating conflict between spouses, the Quran firmly states that no harm occurs unless Allah allows it. This strengthens a believer's trust in Allah and removes fear of hidden forces. It teaches Muslims to rely on Allah alone for protection, healing, and success, rather than fearing magic or seeking forbidden means. Finally, the story teaches the importance of preserving faith over worldly gain. Those who pursued magic knew they would have no share in the hereafter, yet they still chose it for power, control, or influence in this life. This reminds believers that temporary benefit is never worth eternal loss. True wisdom is choosing what pleases Allah, even when temptation or curiosity pulls in another direction. If you find this interesting, kindly like, comment, and subscribe to support this page.